All right, good evening, students, and I welcome you. I think we are already working on different type of question answer sessions, and we have tried our best to give you different variety of questions of all types. And this gives us a good revision of the course. So before the session begins, there is going to be some exercises. And today's exercise is a more gentle exercise, which we call as a tapping. Tapping of the body, tapping of the body. When you feel that there is a lot of stress and you feel obstructions at different parts of the body, stiffness, uneasiness, pains. Do you experience all these? We all experience at different parts. In the morning, we get up, we see some headaches, some stiffness, and some uneasiness. Discomfort is there in the body. So what I find, if we can do some tapping is very easy and convenient. It can be done at any time. So we will do some tapping. Be with me. Sit comfortably on the chair. Your feet are touching the ground. And we will start with clapping. You know, clapping is itself a good exercise, yogic technique. And it applies pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even the sounds are healing, have healing effects. There's some music sound which is coming up. So now what I will do, students, that this is my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Experience the sounds also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tap. Now, what I will do, these are my fingers. These are my fingers. Can you see my fingers? Yes or no? Fast.
Yes, sir.
I will use this and tap my head with the fingers. You will experience some little bit of pressure, and that is what we want. We don't apply very high pressure. Little. Hit it. Top of the head. Side of the head. Forehead. Experience some vibrations. Experience some thing, back of the head. Tap it, tap your body, tap your head, students. It has a very good effect. You will experience, there's a lot of stress in my mind. I'm trying to release it. Tap it, tap your nose, tap your face. Let it be some pressure. There are pressure points, students. Touch therapy. Chin, neck. Tap it. Tap it. Then I have my chest, student. Tap the chest. Just 1, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I am coming to my belly. Just tap it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can do some massage also of the belly. Give it with 2 hands, right circulation clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm moving towards my legs, and I will tap the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you will experience that how there are vibrations at different parts of the body going on. And now you can tap your feet with the ground. Tap the feet on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I'm using, applying pressure at different points of my body, and a type of touch therapy. And this is very good. It will release a lot of stresses and some regeneration, and also it will give me a good circulation of the blood. I can tap my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, then experience the sound vibrations also. Sound also has a healing effect, students. So this is a card. Tapping, tap yourself. You can tap many times in a day and release the stress or tension. I can also do some massage. So what I'm trying, have a good circulation of blood around my body, and at the same time, I can do some inhaling and exhaling. This will help me. Okay, come back. I hope some stiffness has been removed from different parts of the body. Stiffness is a natural thing. It happens every day. You will find if you lie on a bed or sleep and we get up, there is a lot of stiffness at different parts of the body, students. We all experience it. I am trying to find natural ways of healing the human body and system. Naturally heal. That's all. We're not taking any medication, not interested in that. So how we can do it? We can drink a lot of water. We can do some exercises. Different type of exercises are there. We can do different breathing techniques, students. All this is for healing ourselves, for staying healthy, and a lot of positive hormones are produced when we do all this. The main purpose is that we want to have a good and health, and that is the way we can do it. Otherwise, we are studying, we are exhausting, we are working, then a lot of stress molecules are there. It is a natural thing. It happens in every case. Okay, sit comfortably, sit comfortably. Now we are going to do some breathing. Deep breathe in from the nostril, exhale from the mouth. 5 times. Close your eyes. Inhale as deeply as possible. When I say 1, 2, 3, we'll start. 1, 2, 3. Just as you blow a candle, that is the way you exhale from the mouth. Third round. Last round, inhale as deeply as possible. Exhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now come to the normal breathing. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Experience the vibrations in your body. Experience the sounds of the surroundings reaching your ears. These are the activities we can engage ourselves. The sound of the fan is coming on my ears. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Come back, and now hold your hand. Rub your 2 hands. Rub your 2 hands. Itself a healing effect, and heat energy, healing energy. Gentle massage your eyes, your forehead, neck, all parts of the body, and come back. And prayer and attitude of gratitude. We thank you, universe, with the folded hands. Thank you, universe, for the beautiful life we have, and we are trying our best to become the best version of ourselves. Okay, you can open your eyes with smiles and 3 claps. 1, 2, 3. Okay, come back. All right. We are trying to activate our body, release all stresses. The body. Now get ready. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, student, back to the sessions. And we are setting up a target intention. Our intention is very clear, to focus on the question answer sessions. Question, focus, concentrate, pay attention. That is how we will be able to solve question. Attention is very important, and pay focus. Our distraction should be out when we do questions. Mind should be highly relaxed. Body should be fit. That's the purpose of all this. We want to be in the present moment now. Don't think anything else. That is the most important part. You have seen, if you have seen some Olympic games being played, you have seen how much focus and concentration is there for the players. A small distraction, they are out, and see how much hard work they have done. How difficult it is when you have seen the games being played by the players. How they become so good, how they become so perfect, that they are in that Olympics, because each performance is amazing, unbelievable. Can't believe that they can have such a body which can do such a difficult type of task. Nothing is easy there. Have you seen it?
Yes, sir.
Have you seen 10,000 meter? I mean, running. My God, people will collapse 10,000 meters running, and how much they are very close to each other, almost 30, 10 kilometers. You have seen how much is the gap? Very small second, fraction of second gap is there. So you can see how close people are. If they are saying 20.11, 20.12 second, 20.10 second, 20.09 second. See, fraction of a second. My God, unbelievable. Almost touching each other, touching each other. See how tough is the preparation for that. Once you are in the field, it is not the thing. The thing is when you start preparing, that is the main thing. It is very, very difficult task they do. A very hard preparation they do. Otherwise, how they can have such a body, which is, which can do such a great feat? I mean, unbelievable. So this is a great thing. We are inspired and learning a lot of things from these people. How much practice they do, and the whole life they are spending for this. 5 year preparation, 10 years preparation, 15 years preparation, then they are reaching at a particular point. And this is, they have a strong focus, strong concentration, strong dedications, consistency, regularity. Every day they are doing, I mean, everything. Otherwise, they can't do it. I can't say one day I will do and next day. That is not possible. Okay, here are the questions coming. Here, the question is on the screen. Student, read it carefully. Read every question, every word very carefully. Then only answer. Right now, we are giving permission that you can consult your book. No problem. You have books, you can use them and try to find answers which are the best. And our purpose is that these questions give you a good revision and study more and more. Okay, the question is on reaction with chlorine. On reaction with chlorine, phosphorus forms two types of halides, A and B. Now the question is, students, you have studied which group is this?
15 group.
Okay, let me know. In my mind, I have a map. Group 15. What are the elements of group 15?
Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth.
Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth.
Antimony,
So
bismuth.
I have a picture of that. This is, what is the general electron configuration, students?
NS2, NP3.
NS2, NP3. Nitrogen belongs to which period, students?
Fine.
I'm trying to give a revision of the course. Question is there, but we are trying to expand it. How more information we can get, how we can learn a student the entire lesson. Why should be the difficulty in writing the period number of nitrogen? We are used to it so well. What is the atomic number of
It
nitrogen?
belongs, nitrogen is 7.
And what period is it? What is the difficulty? Such a easy thing I have asked.
Second period.
Why it takes so much time? Student, now we should be able to answer this question very fast. Revision. What is the phosphorus? Which group is it?
It is third period.
Add 8 and you will get 15, third period like this. So this is how the sizes increase, ionization energy, electron affinity, and everything we know about it. The type of compounds they form, students. And you are talking of the phosphorus halides. Now, can you tell me what halides I'm talking of? Two types of halide. What phosphorus halides are formed by the phosphorus?
PCl3 and PCl5.
So trihalides, you are saying PX3 and PX5, two halides. On reaction with chlorine, then that we means we are talking of PCl3 and PCl5 with chlorine. It forms two halides. We are aware of it. Okay? Two halides A and B. Halide A is yellowish white powder. Halide A. That means, student, phosphorus is reacting with chlorine and forming two halides. Halides. One is A and other is B. What is the given information? A is a yellowish white powder. Yellowish white powder. All this should be in our mind. There's, don't hurry up any answer. Take your time. It's question of to learn everything. B is a colorless liquid. Colorless liquid, students. Oily liquid. Identify A and B. Write the formula of their hydrolysis products. All right, student.
Sir, A is yellowish white powder, so it is PCl5.
Now, those students who have studied the chapter of phosphorus and halides of phosphorus very carefully, they will know that which type of compound is given. And sometimes I said the color of the compounds, the color of the gases, smell of the gases, order is a type of question in many of the question papers. So whenever a gas has a very particular color, say reddish brown, medium, that should be noted by our mind. You say oily liquid, and then say it has a very pungent odor or some very strong order, that should be known to us, because such questions are being asked in the paper. Students are being asked in the paper, so we should know what type of question is there. So PCl5, we are aware that PCl5 is a yellowish white powder, and it undergoes hydrolysis, that we know. ठीक है? PCl5. And what about PCl3?
It is a colorless oily liquid.
It is a colorless oily liquid. PCl3 is a PCl3. Okay. I should not hurry up. It's not good to hurry up, student. All right. So what happens? What happens, students? Where's on the pen? Okay. Pen. Pen has come. Okay. So PCl5, what is the story? What is PCl5?
Yellowish white powder.
PCl5 yellowish white powder, and
PCl3 is colorless oily liquid.
PCl3. This is PCl3. So this information was available with us, then only we could answer the question. It's very clear. If we have not studied the chapter clearly, then how will we answer the question? Now the question is, we have to write the formula, and the products reactions have to be given. Now they are asking for the reaction, so we should know how to do it. So students, first you should give the reaction of this PCl5 and phosphorus. How? Phosphorus plus Cl2 will give what? PCl5.
PCl5.
What is the balance equation? Phosphorus is P4. P4. You know, it exists at P4.
P4. So
it is 4 PCl5 then
20, 10.
5 Cl2 gas. Okay, this is the reaction. This is a solid if it is a yellowish white powder. First, identify A and B. Okay, you said A is a PCl5.
Sir, it should be 10 Cl2.
Huh?
It should be 10 Cl2.
420 the 5 4
Yes,
10.
sir.
Do it 10. 10. Okay. Then what will happen? You have to give the reaction with water. What is the products with PCl3 and PCl5 plus H2O? We have to give the products of PCl3 and PCl5. These are important reactions. They have been asked it themselves also at many MCQ questions. What is the oxidation number of phosphorus here?
+3 and +5.
So what they produce, student, when they are hydrolyzed? You know, one product is HCl, one product is HCl plus. Plus what is that? Acids of the phosphorus. What are the acids of the phosphorus, students? How do we remember all this?
H3PO2 and H3PO4.
H3PO2? No.
With PCl3 it will give H3PO3, and with PCl5 it will give H3PO4.
What is the oxidation number of phosphorus here?
It is
-6. +3.
It should be, it will be +3.
+3. And what is the oxidation number here? -8 +3.
+5.
Now, do you get the answers in the exam? Why did I do that? This is a clue for us. Higher oxidation state is there in PCl5. So that is giving an acid also with higher oxidation number of phosphorus. Otherwise, I don't know. I will get confused. So there should be something to remember in our mind. So we can say that when PCl5 is a +5 oxidation state, we are getting an acid of higher oxidation number. And when PCl3 lower oxidation number, we are getting an acid of lower oxidation number.
Lower oxidation number.
So this way we cannot be do mistake now. And then you have to balance it. Then you have to see HCl, there are 3. So there should be 3. And how many are there? 5. There should be 5. Then what should be, how much water should I put? Student, balance it. There is a way, we can't cram the things. No, it is not easy to cram the thing. How many reactions I will cram? But there should be some method of remembering the reaction which are important for the exam. This is an important reaction. Even in many MCQ questions they have asked it. The question could be put in many ways. That is not our problem. Our purpose is to learn it, student, as much as possible. How much water should be there then? How much water is there? Oxygen is 3 here, 3 oxygen. Any other oxygen?
So it should be 3 H2O.
3 oxygen, 3 oxygen. Here, how many oxygens are there? 4.
And 4.
So if I put 4, does it balance the situation?
Uh, 3 and yes, sir, it balances.
Okay. I mean, a question is given. We spend plenty of time to find out how we will be able to generate answers. The question could be only which acid is produced when you react PCl3 with water, and they will give 4 choices. And we have a hint here. This is +3. So it is coming to +3. These are the ways we try to match our answers and remember, and it helps us in answering many questions. All right, next question is coming. When concentrated H2SO4, student, H2SO4 is saying H2SO4 is added to an unknown salt present in a test tube. These are some of the tests which you are doing in chemistry lab also, students. H2SO4, concentrated H2SO4. Sometimes use concentrated nitric acid, concentrated hydrochloric acid. These are very common acids you are using in the chemistry lab. A brown gas. Now I said color of the gas. Why did we take such questions? Because I am always saying color of the gas, order of the gas. They are very important information, students, and there will be questions based on that. In every exam, there are questions. Certain special orders are there. Immediately we say, okay, they are used as a test. Colors are important. So color, order, okay? When concentrated added to unknown salt, a brown gas, A. What is A? He is saying brown gas.
Brown gas.
Now, if I remember, if I studied the chemistry, I am aware of how many brown gases are there. Now, those who have good experience, what type of brown gases you have seen in the chemistry? I mean, this is a point we can search for it again. And when you read a particular chapter, we know where are the brown gases. Okay? The gas intensified when copper turnings were also added into the test tubes. Copper, you add copper, more brown gas. On cooling the gas A, you cool the gas A, what happens? It changed into colorless gas B. Colorless gas B. Colorless gas B, students. Okay, now the question is, right, what are you having, students? salt. What you're doing? Add concentrated H2SO4. But you are getting a brown colored gas. You get a colorless gas.
Sir, your screen share has stopped.
Okay, I will see some problem is going with the internet. We are going to connect it. But you can listen my sound.
Yes, sir.
Screen is not coming.
No, sir.
Just on screen. No screen.
No, sir, it is not visible.
Sure. What do you see? Only my sound only?
Yes, sir. Your video only is coming, not the board.
Board is not coming. This again share. Okay. Mhm. Coming.
Yes, sir. Now it is coming.
All right. Okay. Now you can see when concentrated H2SO4 salt add concentrated H2SO brown colored gas, cool colorless gas. So what could be the Identify the gases A and B. Which gases are there which are brown in color?
Sir, here A would be NO2, nitrogen dioxide.
The brown color gas is so famous in chemistry. Brown colored gas. Brown colored gas. Which one is this? NO2.
NO2.
And what happens when you cool it?
It will then dimerize to form N2O4.
Okay. It dimerizes. Dimerizes to form N2O4. Okay. What is the reaction taking place? You have unknown salt, some metal, and it is a nitrate. Nitrate. Okay? Nitrate, when we react nitrates with H2SO4 concentrated, what happens, students? What will you get?
HNO3 and MHSO4.
MHSO4 plus HNO3. Nitric acid. And what happens when you heat nitric acid?
It will form NO2 gas, H2O and oxygen.
H2O oxygen. If I balance it, what is the story? 4 HNO3, 4 NO2,
4 NO2 and 2 H2O.
2 H2O. Now, what happens? Gas is intensified when copper turnings are added. You are aware of the reaction of copper with nitric acid?
Yes, sir.
What is the product?
It will form copper nitrate,
Hmm.
NO2 gas and H2O.
Copper nitrate,
NO2 gas
H2O plus
and
2
H2O.
NO2. So what will happen? Copper added to the test tube, color will become intense. Color becomes more
More
intense.
intense.
Brown in color. Brown in color. Okay. Certain colors of the gases are important for the coming exams. We should be very familiar. Try to study the chapters in terms of the color and orders of the gases. Tests are always based on that. You are aware of in chemistry, this is very important. Questions will be based on that, students. Next question is coming. Concentrated sulfuric acid added to the following by heating to each of the following labeled 1 to 5. Okay? There are 5 test tubes. It has cane sugar, sodium bromide, copper turnings, sulfur powder, potassium chloride. Okay? Concentrated H2SO4 is added. 1, 2, test tube 3, test tube 4, and test tube 5. Okay? How many are there? 5 test tubes?
5
What you are adding? Concentrated H2SO4.
H2SO4.
And then you are heating the test tubes. Identify in which of the given test tube following changes will be observed. Support your answer with the help of a chemical equation. Now he is asking for chemical equation, students. All right. You have 1 to 2 minutes to answer the question.
Cane sugar, sodium, copper turning, powder. Formation of black substance.
Write the chemical equations also. What happens in
Test
test
tube
tube
1.
1? Test
Formation of black substance.
tube
Because
1. What happens in the test tube 1?
Concentrated sulfuric acid is a strong dehydrating agent.
Formation
so it will
of
dehydrate
black substance.
charring of sugar.
What is the equation? C12.
C12H22O11. when conc H2SO4 is added, it will form 12C plus 11H2O.
What is the property which is used here?
Charring of sugar, dehydrating property of H2SO,
H2SO4 is a powerful
dehydrating agent.
concentrated H2SO4 is a dehydrating agent. It absorbs water. This property is used a lot for the sulfuric acid. Okay. Now, what is happening in test tube number 2, students? Bromide.
Sodium bromide. A brown gas will evolve in test tube 2.
Sodium bromide. You will react with H2SO4 concentrated. What is the product?
NaHSO4,
Br2 gas.
Br,
That's why I written this
Br2,
Br2 gas.
SO2,
What is the color of Br2?
reddish brown color.
Na2SO4.
4, SO2 or H2.
What is the oxidation number of Br here?
Here it is -1. In NaBr it is -1.
What is here?
0.
-1 to 0 means what? What has happened?
Oxidation.
Oxidation. This is oxidized by the sulfuric acid.
Yes, sir.
What property is that?
Strong oxidizing agent.
Concentrated sulfuric acid acts as an oxidizing agent. Student, all these properties are important. Whatever is important, we should be able to mention. A question reactions could be given in different form. Let me see what is test tube 3, student. What is their copper turnings?
So in test tube 3, brown substance will be formed of copper oxide.
Copper turnings and sulfuric acid. What is the product, students? What brown? Where is the brown? This is not nitric acid.
It will form copper plus H2SO4 will give
Which gas will be evolved?
SO2 gas.
What is the color of SO2? What is the color of SO2?
SO2 is it is colorless. SO2 is colorless.
Colorless gas. Why I said these colors are very important, student. There will be some questions based on that. SO2 is a colorless gas. See, certain colors should be very much known to you. Chemistry is, lot of chemistry is about colors, color changes, and that is a very great thing for us. Color changes, then we should know what color changes, why it changes. All these reactions are important. Wherever there is a color change, important. Color of few gases are so clear to us, they should be in our mind. Color of precipitates when you do the test are clear to us. All these things, color and smell of the gases, again and again I repeatedly say, learn more about it. There will be some questions based on this in the exam. So which is this? What is happening in C? This is your C, colorless gas. What colorless gas is there? SO2 gas.
SO2.
What brown gas is there? Br2 gas. And what is the black color? Carbon. C. See, all this information helps. Next question, student. Reddish formation of brown substance. Which one dilution becomes blue? Brown substance.
Sir, actually, this reaction is for D because it will on dilution this
The formation of a brown substance.
copper oxide formed will be brown substance. First, it will form copper oxide, and then copper sulfate.
Where is the gas? Which is a gas? Colorless gas. SO2. The gas is coming.
But sir, gas will also evolve in case of fifth test tube. Potassium
Okay, man, we have to see. This is copper turning, sodium bromide, and there is sulfur powder and potassium chloride. The brown gas is different, colorless gas is different. Brown gas is different, colorless gas is different. Copper turnings, copper turnings. Then what is the sulfur powder? What happens in the sulfur? First let us write the reaction, then we will see. Sulfur powder will react with what? Sulfuric acid. What is the product?
It should be S plus H2SO.
Test tube 1, test tube 2, test tube 3 is copper turning. Copper turning.
It will
Sulfur powder. What will sulfuric acid do to sulfur? It is an oxidizing agent.
dissolve. It will oxidize sulfur.
Sulfur is oxidized to what? It has to do oxidation of sulfur.
SO2. It will oxidize to SO2.
Plus 2H2O. What is the result of this? 2H2SO4 and SO2 gas. This is a colorless gas. Now we have to see which matches where. Colorless gas. SO2, this C, the C is matching this. Evolution of colorless gas. Here, only colorless gas.
Yes, sir.
It could match with the C. We have to see. Let me first do all the reaction, then we will decide. What else is there? Potassium chloride.
Potassium chloride.
Fifth test tube. This is test tube 4. Fifth test tube, what is happening? Potassium chloride will react, then what will happen?
It will form HCl gas. KH.
HCl
gas.
and K2SO4.
K2SO4.
Then what is this? Formation of brown. Which one dilution becomes blue?
Sir, it should be for copper turnings one. Test tube 3. Because when copper sulfate is diluted,
Disappearance of a yellow powder along with evolution of color gas.
So that is sulfur.
That is sulfur.
Yes, sir.
Where is
Fourth.
sulfur? This one.
Fourth test tube.
This is the, which one is it? The D?
For E, it should be fourth test tube.
Disappearance of yellow powder along with evolution of, this is a E, huh?
Yes, sir. For E, it should be fourth.
Okay, and what is fifth test tube?
Sir, for fifth test tube, it should be C.
Evolution of a colorless gas. Colorless gas. If it is C, colorless gas. Okay. Then what else is left? Third.
Formation of brown D option. D is for copper sulfate. This copper one.
D. Copper formation of brown substance, which one didn't become blue? D. Okay. Okay. Now compare the correct answers. See, unless I write all the equations, I cannot. There could be some difficulty. So the first thing is to write properly all the equations and see what gases are evolved. Few cases are very easy, there is no problem. And black color carbon is the first thing out, no problem. And rest of the things we have to see that colorless gas is being evolved in not one case, in 2-3 cases. So we have to see which is the correct answer where to match it according to the properties given. Properties given. All right. The only brown color is Br2. There is no other brown color. No?
Yes, sir.
So that this is not a problem. This is not a problem. But here colorless gas is there. So the SO2 here also evolution of a colorless gas is there. But disappearance of yellow powder. Which is yellow powder then? Sulfur.
Sulfur.
So we have to see which is matching there. The question are there. My saying is without completely writing the answer, we cannot just point out any answer. The choices are quite close and we have to be very sure and read each and every word very clearly. Just not this, there is something more than that. Colorless gas, here also colorless gas. So then disappearance of yellow powder. Evolution of a brown gas, black substance is not a problem. Brown substance with a dilution, all this. So be careful. Every question involves something. Student, we have to be very careful, very careful. These questions were given because I found that the questions are coming on the colors of gases, smells of the gases. So we should be able to. Why do we do so? Because then your mind starts working. You will keep on searching and start reading about this more. Gas colors of the gases, smell of the gases. It should be in your mind when you go to the exam. That helps us because a lot of hints will be there in the questions. Now, students, X2 is a greenish yellow gas. X2 is greenish yellow gas. First of all, I am writing greenish yellow gas. Student, don't answer anything yet. Read the information carefully. With pungent smell also pungent. Pungent smell, okay. And is used in purification of water. Purification of water. Student, what is the information? Very good information. On dissolving water, it gives solution which turns blue litmus red. What it means? In water, blue litmus red means what? Solution is in water. What is that? In water, yes. In water, student, it is acidic.
Acid.
It turns blue litmus red. Okay. It turns blue litmus red. Then what else, students? When passed through NaBr solution, Br2 is obtained. NaBr. You have X2. What it produces? Br2 gas. That reaction, we are aware of that. Okay? Identify the gas. What are the products obtained when X2 reacts with ammonia? Give chemical. What happens when X2 reacts with cold and dilute NaH? Write the chemical equation. You have 1 to 2 minutes. The answer is a good question. Is a good question because
Sir, gas here will be chlorine gas.
you are so familiar with this yellowish, greenish yellow color. It was used in Second World War also. That is a Cl2 gas.
Cl2 gas.
Its smell is pungent. It is also used for purification of water.
Water.
And it will give acidic solution in water. You are aware of it. And
sir.
what will happen? You know, Cl2 plus is an oxidizing agent. It will displace Br, bromine. Cl2 is a stronger oxidizing agent than Br. You know, F2 is more than Cl2, Br2, then I2. So chlorine will displace bromine gas and as well as iodine gas. So you are saying this is chlorine gas, students. What are the products when X2 reacts with ammonia? NH3
NH3 plus
plus
Cl2.
Cl2. What is the product, student?
It will give NH4Cl and nitrogen gas.
This is a method for the preparation of nitrogen gas also.
Yes, sir.
Ammonium chloride. What is the balancing situation?
It should be. It should be 8 NH3, 3 Cl2, and 6 NH4Cl.
How much is balance? 8 nitrogen, 6 plus 2, 8.
8 NH.
What happens when X2 react with cold and dilute NaOH? This is an important reaction. They have asked for reaction with cold as well as with concentrated NaOH in many exams. NaH plus Cl2. What will be the product?
If NaOH is cold and dilute, then it will give NaCl, NaOCl, and H2O.
NaCl?
Yes, sir. NaCl, NaOCl, and H2O.
How will you balance it? What is the oxidation number? What is the oxidation number of Cl2 is 0? Here it is -1. What is the oxidation number here? +1.
+1,
-2.
-2, or -1.
-1. Sure. All right. Let us see. Okay, let us see. Such questions are important. On heating compound A, gives a gas B. Compound A, student. Compound A. B is a gas, which is a constituent of air. Is a constituent of air. Information. What are the gases present in air, student? You have oxygen, you have nitrogen, and some inert gas is there. Which inert gas is present in air? Air has got which gases? Small
Nitrogen,
amount.
nitrogen, oxygen.
And some inert gas is also there in small amounts, which are separated by the liquefaction of air.
Argon, neon.
Which is that?
Helium.
Argon? No,
Argon. Helium.
Anyway, find out. This is our, all this information should be with us. This gas when treated with 3 mole of hydrogen. 3 mole of hydrogen in the presence of a catalyst. I don't know what catalyst is. It forms another gas C, which is basic in nature. This gas is basic. Gas C on further oxidation in moist condition gives compound D oxidation in the presence of water. It gives a compound D, which is a part of acid rain. Acid rain, part of the acid rain, student. What is acidic rain?
Acid rain which contains oxides of sulfur, nitrogen.
Okay, then answer the question. Then you have all this information with you. What is the answer we are giving? Then it cannot be oxygen. That is clear.
A will be,
Then it has to be a nitrogen gas.
yes, sir.
B. Then how will you get
So
nitrogen prepare? How do you prepare nitrogen?
A will be NH4NO2.
Compound.
The compound will be NH4NO2.
When you heat it, you get nitrogen gas. Then what happens? Nitrogen reacts with hydrogen in the presence of a catalyst to form
Ammonia.
ammonia, NH3. What is the catalyst used here? Preparation of ammonia gas. What catalyst you are using is a very important reaction. What process is that? Nitrogen, hydrogen, platinum,
Haber's process.
Haber's process. All these important reactions are produced in some or the other form. All right, then what happens when ammonia reacts with oxygen?
It will form NO and H2O.
It will form NO
And
and
H2O.
NO and H2O. Then what happens? NO
NO will further react with oxygen to give NO2,
NO2.
and then NO2 will react with water to give HNO3.
HNO3, which is your D, acidic rain. Here you have to write all the reactions, write all equations, balanced equations. All this is become a chart, student. We have to write everything in the exams. NH4NO2. You are getting N2 plus 2H2O. Then what happens, student? N2 plus 3H2, 2NH3. What is the catalyst and temperature, etc. conditions? This is our B, A, and C. Then what happens, students? NH3 plus O2 gives 4 NO. Then you will have 4 NH3, 4 NO plus 6 H2O. Then you have NO plus O2. It will give NO2. Balance